Lamed Tes Amud Aleph 39, Masechtas Shabbos 39. Kol Shabbat B'Chamim L'fnei Shabbos. Anything that was cooked in hot, and usually means hot water before Shabbos. Shrorin also B'Chamim B'Shabbos. You can soak. You can leave soaked in hot water on Shabbos. It was fully cooked already. B'Chol Shelo B'Chamim L'fnei Shabbos. Something that has not been kept or cooked in chamin before Shabbos. Medichin also b'chamin b'Shabbos. You can't soak something in hot water on Shabbos, but you can rinse it off with hot water. Chutz ben amaliach yoshan, except for like a fish that was aged. V'kuyas ha'ispanin, and this is some kind of grain. It's another kind of fish. Rashi says tunina. There, if you rinse it off in hot water, that's like it's finished malacha. That's how you mavashal it. So that you can't do on Shabbos. Shema mina. So that's the same kind of thing that we said, that if you take an egg and put it in hot scarves on Shabbos, you're chayav for cooking as well. And that's the psak halacha. Something yavesh. Shulchan says, davar yavesh nishbashal kvar erev Shabbos. Something that's been cooked already erev Shabbos. Mutar l'sharosu. You can leave it in hot water on Shabbos. Something that has not been cooked from erev Shabbos, you can rinse it off with hot water, but not with a kli that became heated through fire. And something that is aged like fish, where rinsing it with hot water is the finishing sort of touches on its bishul, and you can't eat it without it, so you're not allowed to even rinse it off with hot water either on Shabbos. But in cold water, you could on Shabbos. Then it says, V'lo yav kiyana b'sudri. The Mishnah said, don't wrap an egg in hot handkerchiefs, because then it's going to cook it. It's going to be monschami b'shemesh. So the Gemara says, Vadis. Now, what about the Mishnah? It says, Noistin tavshil toch habor. You could take a kugel, put it into a board. Bishvil shi'ei shamur. Let's say you want to protect. We're talking doing it on Shabbos. You want to protect it from, let's say, the heat. V'samayim hayofim b'roim. Or you want to take good water and let's say there's a bunch of bad water that you can't drink, but it's very cold. I'm teaching a class right now. I'll have to call you back. Let's say you want to, take the hot. You have some hot water. You put it in some cold water, or there's a sun in b'chama. As long as you do it in the sun and it heats up, you're allowed to do it. So that seems to imply that heating something up in the sun, whether it's in a bore or in the open, you're allowed to do it. How can you say that if you take an egg and wrap it in handkerchiefs, it's usher? So are we going to say that perhaps our Mishnah that said Rabbi Yossi permitted it is the author of that Mishnah v'lo Rabbana? Amar Rav Nachman b'chama, cooking in the heat, in the sun, kula amalo pliga d'shari. That's permitted. Betoldos ha'ur, heating something up in something that got hot through fire, so that's toldos eish. That be you'd be chayav v'chatas. Kula amalo pliga d'asur. Ki pliga betoldos ha'chama. Let's say you took handkerchiefs and you heated them up in the sun. We've said heating something up directly from the sun is going to be permitted. But heating something up indirectly from the sun, that's a machlokas. Mar Sover Gazrinan told us Otu told us or. Since we have a chiyuv chatis for heating something up in something that was heated secondarily by fire, we say that's Asr min Torah. So we are goizer heating something up directly from the sun because people will be confused. Umar Sor like Gazrinan. And Rabbi Yossi, in our Mishnah, who permits doing that with an egg, is not goizer. And that's not locha. Bishul b'chama v'toldo yiseh. Mutter levashel u'lechamim dvorim b'or hashemesh atzma. You could put something out in the sun, and that's permitted. But the toldo sachama osir mishum gzer k'direi chachanim. But if you have handkerchiefs or something that got heated up by the sun, you're not allowed to wrap something in that because of this gzera. Then the Mishnah said, "V'lo yakminena b'chol." You shouldn't take an egg and bury it in the sand. And Rabbi Yossi did not permit there. Lifluk nami Rabbi Yossi baha. What's the difference? The sand gets heated. We said Rabbi Yossi in our Mishnah permitted you to take an egg and wrap it in handkerchiefs that were heated by the sun, because he's not goizer. But then the Mishnah said you could take an egg, bury it in the sand. Now the sand is also heated up by the sun. Yet Rabbi Yossi did not argue there. Rabbi Yossi did not permit there. So Rava Amar, even Rabbi Yossi will accept the gzeira there, because there we're dealing with another gzeira of hatmana. We're going to learn in the next parak that you can't take something that's hot and you want to preserve its heat, and you want to bury it in material to keep its heat. That's called hatmana. So you're allowed to bury it into some material, but in some material you're not. Anything that adds heat. So the classic case is remetz, which is something like hot leaves. It's not exactly coals, but we'll see it's something that adds heat, like fertilizer, something like that. Rava Amar Gzeret Shema Yatmin Beremetz. 1 second. So you argue when you bury when you bury an egg in the sand. So Rava says Rabbi Yossi agrees, because that you might come to put it in something that adds heat. So it's a gzeira mishum hatmana. Rav Yosef Amar Bnei Shemezis offer mimkomo, because when you put the egg in the sand on Shabbos, it's like you're digging a hole in the ground, and that's not permitted. It's like you're being choifer aguma. It's like you're digging a ditch, says Rashi. Now, both are asering. So my binayu, what's the difference between the two shitas? It can binayu offer tichuach. If it's you don't very loose sand, where you don't have to dig a ditch, it just falls by itself, and then you don't need a gzeira. But then you have the gzeira of hatmana beremetz, according to the mandomar. So if you have sand that's easily movable, you don't have to dig a ditch. So Rav Yosef would not aser, but Rava would aser because of the gzeira mishum hatmana. They'll ask you a kasha from a baraisa. The gaglin beitzal gabi gag roseach. You can fry an egg or heat up an egg on the roof where it's very hot. But let's say you have lime that's very hot, so you can't put it in the lime. So that makes sense. It's the same kind of hatmana because lime adds heat. Lekla mixer, according to the one that says afar tichuach. But I guess on the roof, where there's always dirt there, so we should be goizer. So the more answer stam gag lesbe offer. A regular roof doesn't have dirt, so there's no reason to be goizer up on the roof. That's why it's permitted on the roof. But in the line, it's not, because you still have the reason of the hatmana beremetz. Toshma, from our Mishnah, Ma'aser she'asu anshe Tveria, they've used silon shultzon, and they took a pipe and they put a pipe through Chamei Tveria, and they ran cold water through the pipe to heat it up, We said this water you can't use on Shabbos, not for washing, not for drinking, but you could use it on Yom Tov. Because of Shasiya, you're allowed to cook Oichel Nefesh. So Bishmal the people who asered, Bishmal Mandom Exer Shemayatnin Beremetz, heating some water through a pipe that's going through Chamit Tveria is like Hatmana. Kainu de Dami Latmana. Elamandam they shemezis offer Mimkomo, but if the problem of putting an egg in the dirt is because you're making a guma, there's no guma here with a pipe going. Why did they ask her? So the Gemara says, "Mi savris ma'isa tveria seifa koi." Who told you that when the Tveria halacha refers to the seifa, it refers to the reisha? And this is what we meant. It says, "Lo yavkiana besudrim." Don't wrap an egg into scarves that have been heated up by the sun. Remember, the Chachamim are goizer because of told or Rabbi Yossi matir. Rabbi Yossi says we don't make that gzeira. The hachi kamer le rabbanon Rabbi Yossi, and therefore the rabbanon tiny to Rabbi Yossi. How can you permit hamaisa danshe tveria to told us chamahu? Because Chachamim understood that what heats up the water of the hot springs of Tveria, they understood that it was the sun. So they said to Rabbi, how could you tell me that told us the Chama, like when you heat something up through the sun, it's permitted? You have the case of Tveria where the Chachamim said it's not permitted. So Rabbi Yossi responded, no. Chame Tveria, who told us Orhu? It's heated up because the core of the earth is molten. And it's like the fires, the Chalfia Pischa de Gehenim, it's like the fires of Gehenim, which is a fire. So it's told us Ha'esh. So we already learned today that Rabbi Yossi agrees that something heated up directly by a fire, that's told of Bishul directly. It's only told us a Chama that they made a Gzeira. But he didn't hold it was told us the Chama, that's why he matter. Honor of his from this story that we said that if you took a pipe and flowed cold water through it to try to heat it up, it's prohibited to do it on Shabbos because it's going to add heat. If at least if you use some kind of material that adds heat, even if you heated it up, the pipe that heated up that water, even Erev Shabbos, because it's like anything that you are matmin, we're going to see soon in the next parak, you can't be matmin from Erev Shabbos. So this refers to heating up. So you can't even use hot water on Shabbos that was heated up even before Shabbos. And that's Amar Ula, halacha Anshe Tveria. The halacha is like Anshe Tveria. But Amar Le Rav Nachman, Kartavrinu Anshe Tveria, so the Gemara says, Amar Le Rav Nachman, Kartavrinu Anshe Tveria L'Silunayu. Even the Anshe Tveria broke their pipes, and they paskin that it's usher. And what exactly are we referring to rechitza? My rechitza. When it says that they were permitted in the Mishnah to use it to wash themselves on Yom Tiv with this water that was heated up, we'll see either before Yom Tiv or even on Yom Tiv. Ilem rechitza is called gufo. Could you wash your whole body? And elachamin sheluchmu b'Shabbos udasurin. And what? That implies that if you, regarding Shabbos, not Yom Tif, if you heated up water on Shabbos, you can't wash your whole body. But if you heated up water before Shabbos, you could wash your whole body. V'atanya, I'll show you the price, not so. Chamin sheluchum erev Shabbos, water that was heated up erev Shabbos. L'mocha rochetz ben ponav yadav raglam. On Shabbos, you could wash your hands and feet with it because it was heated up before Shabbos. Avalokol gufo. So you certainly, something that was heated up on Shabbos, you can't use for anything. And even water that's heated up before Shabbos, you can't use to wash your whole body. You can only use to wash your face and hands. Elapon Yad V'Ragla. So the Gemara says, so when we said that we permit rechitza on Yom Tov, it's also only Panav Yad V'Ragla. Regarding water that was heated up on Yom Tov. Versus Amos Seifa. It says, B'Yom Tov, Kechamin Sheruchma B'Yom Tov. If you heat it up on Yom Tov itself, not Erev Yom Tov, it's like chamin that was heated up on Yom Tov. V'asur and berachitzu mutar b'shasiya. It's prohibited to use to wash if you heat it up on Yom Tov, but you can drink it. So understand, le'met non stomach k'bei Shammai. So is our Mishnah going like Beis Shammai? It's not Beis Shammai onim lo yachim onim chamin l'ragla. Elim ken ru'uyin l'shasiya. You can't heat up water on Yom Tov, even to wash your feet, unless that water was good enough water you could drink. Because it's a concept of mitoch that you're allowed to cook for eating and drinking. You're allowed to heat it up. You could use it as well for washing. But Beis Hillel matirim. Beis Hillel allows you, it doesn't have to be ru'uya l'shasiya. Once you have a permission, you have a permission. So what does it mean that they're, so how could our Mishnah be going like Beis Shammai? There where we say that it's prohibited on Yom Tov to wash your whole body. Or if you dump it on your whole body, that's not like rechitza. But that's a baraisa tali lo yishate farim kol gufo bein b'chamin vein b'tzonim. You can't dump water on your whole body, whether it's hot or cold, on Yom Tov to Rab Shimon matir, and Rab Yehuda omer b'chamin aser b'tzonim mutter. So the Shulchan Aruch says mutter l'chamin mayim b'Yom Tov. You can heat up water on Yom Tov. Lirchotz panav yad v'raglav avalo kol gufo. K'divrei Beis Hillel. So you could wash limb by limb with water that's heated up on Yom Tov, but not your whole body. And also, it says in Shulchan Aruch, also lishtov kol gufo b'mayim chamim b'Shabbos. You can't, even with water heated up from Erev Shabbos, you can't dump it on your whole body on Shabbos. Avol b'tzonin mutter, but with cold water you can dump it on your whole body even on Shabbos. As long as you don't, do schita, and you don't rinse something off and squeeze things and do other malachas on Shabbos. And there's another halacha in Shulchan Aruch, rechitza b'Shabbos b'chamin, using hot water on Shabbos, afilu shulchan b'od yom, even if the water was heated up Erev Shabbos, asura. But b'chamin tveria mutter lirchot b'mayim chamim amitzuim b'karka, avalo b'kli. But for example, on Shabbos, you could go into Chamei Tveria, into the mikveh. As long as you go in, as long as this hot spring's in the ground, you can't use a kli to dump it on yourself. Back to the Gemara. That's the kli. The karka, if you can go into a bath that's in the ground, like a hot spring, divrei kol mutter. Yeah, but the Chachamim asered the people of Tveria who were piping their cold water through the Chamei Tveria, that's in the ground. The machlokas between the Chachamim and Rabbi Yossi is bekarka. Avol b'kli divra, and there Chachamim argue even if it's in the karka. But the kli divra kol aser. On Rav Chana, Rav Yechon, halachik Rabbi Yehuda. Allah is Rabbi Yehuda that b'chamin aser, but sonein mutter. Other Rav Yosef beferish milachol mechlolish. Did you hear it directly from him, or did you deduce it from him? My klal, and what would be the deduction? Dam Rav Tan Chaman Rav Yechon Rav Yana Amarav. Komakom Shana Temotzi Shnaim Chalukim Vechad Machriya. You have a machlokas between two parties in halacha. The echad machriya and one compromises, like in this case of Rabbi Yehuda, halacha kedivra machriya. chutz mikulim atlanios, except for the leniencies regarding using shmatis and whether they're Torah or Tomei, whether they're makabel tumor or not based on their size. Sha'afal pish Rabbi Yezer machmir Rabbi Yeshua Meiko, Rabbi Kiva machri, and Rabbi Kiva was the compromiser. Ein halacha k'divrei machia. Why? Chadad Rabbi Kiva Talmid. The Od, how did they Rabbi Kiva Rabbi Yeshua? Because Rabbi Kiva changed his mind as opposed to Rabbi Yoshua. Now, for purposes of this year, I investigated the contemporary halacha regarding showering on Yom Tov, because Yom Tov is coming up. Many major authorities forbid so I'll give you this. Many major authorities forbid taking a shower with hot water, whether the water was heated before Yom Tov or on Yom Tov. However, one may wash one's body one limb at a time with water heated before Yom Tov, and one may heat up water on Yom Tov to wash one's face, hands, and feet. However, some authorities are lenient and hold that it's preferable to shower on Yom Tov with lukewarm water, but it's even permitted to shower with hot water. However, one should not use very hot water. Nevertheless, it's imperative to be careful about certain concepts. One may not squeeze water out of one's hair, either to dry it or to rub it in shampoo, and so one should put the shampoo in before wetting one's hair. 2, one may not use regular bar soap based on the Mishnah Berurah 326, but one should use liquid soap, preferably one that is a thin liquid. And some forbid using the towel to dry one's hair, but agree that it's permissible to dry one's body as long as the towel isn't saturated to the point that one is squeezing out water. And the Rav Herschel Schechter and Rav Henkin are some of the sources on this issue. And it's based on it's based on our Gemara that we learn in terms, as we learned today. Tosfos learned, the Tosfos we didn't learn today, that they hold that there's a biblical prohibition to heat up water on Yom Tov, also holds that there's a rabbinic prohibition to bathe in water heated before Yom Tov, just like there's a rabbinic prohibition regarding water heated before Shabbos. Based on this, the note of Yehuda and Chacham Tzvi forbade immersing in a heated mikvah, even if the water was heated before Yom Tov. But they did permit using lukewarm water. The Divrei Chaim, the Tzanzer, says that the minhag is to allow women to immerse even on Shabbos and Yom Tov in a heated mikvah. And Rabbi Kiva Eger held that the Mayim permits bathing in hot water even on Shabbos, because if not, we're talking about women, otherwise the women would be in great discomfort. The Gzeira, but bathing in stuff that was heated before Shabbos, wasn't made in those situations. The Rambam held that it's permissible to wash one's whole body with water that was heated up before Yom Tov, as long as it's done outside a bathhouse, because it was a rabbinic prohibition not to bathe in a bathhouse on Yom Tov. The Shulchan Aruch ruled like the Rambam, the Ramah, the Ashkenaz ruled like Tosfos to be machmir. And the Mishnah Berurah writes that Ashkenazim shouldn't change the minhag to refrain from washing one's whole body in water that was heated before Yom Tov. The Sfardim minhag is to follow Shulchan Aruch, which is more lenient because they followed the Rambam. So
what would be the difference between lukewarm and hot? What's the difference? You're heating.
Yeah, because remember, heating, it depends on how hot you heat it. Yad Soletispo, which is 114 degrees, versus not. Because they hold that that's not considered visual if it doesn't reach a certain thing. So lukewarm doesn't meet that status. That's why lukewarm is different.
Chag Sameach, everybody.
Good Yom Tov. See you in a few nights.